The town of Balakot in Pakistan's northwest frontier province was hardest hit by last year's earthquake. 90% of all buildings were destroyed. This mountain of rubble was once the old city.
ये हमारा जो है ना एक हस्ता बस्ता ये हमारा गांव था. जब उस सामने से रोड से जब गाड़ी इस तरफ आती थी रात को यहाँ पे चहल पहल थी. रोशनी इतनी ज़्यादा थी कि जिस तरह आसमान पे सितारे होते हैं. तो अब जब वहाँ से सामने होते हैं तो इस शहर को देखकर रोना आता है और अपनी आंखों पे यकीन नहीं आता कि ये हमारा ये पुराना ही वाला शहर है.
To the people of Balakot, Taj Mohammed is a hero. After the earthquake struck on October 8, killing more than 80,000, he rescued scores of people trapped in the ruins of their homes. A deeply religious man, he's asked that his face not be shown on television.
बाहर आकर मैं और ज़्यादा खौफज़दा हो गया कि मैंने दिल में तो अब यहाँ पर खड़ा था तकरीबन 1 मिनट के बाद एक औरत के चिल्लाने की आवाज़ आई है इस मकान से. तो सबसे पहले मैंने जो ना अल्लाह का नाम लिया और अपने ना कांपते हुए हाथों से मैंने सबसे पहले उस औरत को निकाला.
But while he's a saviour to many, to others, he's tainted by the company he keeps. As a loyal member of Jamaat-ud-Dawa, a militant religious group accused of waging jihad at home and abroad.
What do they preach? To begin with, they're preaching a certain type of militant Islam. Should they be allowed to do that? No, they shouldn't. What do? They go beyond preaching militant Islam to training jihadis. They are jihadi organizations. They fight domestic jihads. They fight regional jihad. These are terror organizations for a reason. They resort to the use of force to forward their political goals. That is the danger. That is the threat.
Prior to the deadly earthquake, the covert training of young militants in the hills around Balakot was one of Pakistan's worst-kept secrets. When the earthquake struck, the bearded militants came out of hiding. They were amongst the first to begin work here, digging people out of the rubble and providing food, medicine and shelter to survivors.
This is aerial erythrocene and indomethacin. This is Panadol.
Up until now, the Jamaat-ud-Dawa has not allowed anyone to film its relief activities. But Dateline was granted exclusive access to film at this camp just days after the organisation was added to the US government's terror list. The International Crisis Group says that Jamaat-ud-Dawa is one of at least 17 groups involved in relief work here that are considered to have terrorist links. The Al Rashid Trust is another of the terrorist-listed organisations dispensing medical care and providing shelter. Abu Zagam is Jamaat-ud-Dawa's head of relief work for the Balakot Valley. He's also asked for his face to be concealed, citing religious reasons.
Jamaat-ud-Dawa relief में इतना अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह बढ़ चढ़ के काम किया. आलमी मीडिया ने भी इसको सराहा. पूरी दुनिया में मकबूलियत हुई. पाकिस्तान गवर्नमेंट ने भी इसको सराहा और उन्होंने जो है मुबारकबाद भी दी. अगर ये ना होते तो ये बात कहनी तो नहीं चाहिए हम इसको. तो अल्लाह को जो मंजूर होता है वही होता है. हो सकता है कि जानी नुकसान भी ज़्यादा होता.
Jamaat-ud-Dawa was not always known by this name. It was formerly called Laskhar-e-Taiba, the Army of the Pure and Righteous, a hardline jihadi group with international connections, which Pakistan declared to be a terrorist organisation in 2002. Canberra followed suit a year later. Laskhar-e-Taiba is widely known for its fundraising and recruitment of Islamic militants who cross into India to fight in the disputed region of Kashmir. Samina Ahmed, a political analyst with the International Crisis Group, says Jamaat-ud-Dawa has the same leader, the same headquarters and the same philosophy as Laskhar-e-Taiba.
They haven't even tried to change the organisation. All they've done is change the name.
But what is its position now? Because it has reformed, it's renamed itself. Does the US consider it to be this one and the same organisation?
Absolutely. On the 28th of April, the US put Jamaat-ud-Dawa on its terror list on that ground that it is just a renamed Laskhar-e-Taiba.
Even the founder of Laskhar-e-Taiba, Hafiz Mohammed Saeed, has publicly admitted that Jamaat-ud-Dawa is the same organisation and he continues to lead it. Do you accept Jamaat-ud-Dawa is a name change of Laskhar-e-Taiba?
I can't say. This is just a statement. There is no name change. We have changed. They have changed. There was no such evidence. There is no such evidence of their involvement in any such. If there is any evidence about anybody that he or she or anybody is involved in any such activity which is not in line with the law and the Constitution of Pakistan, will go straight and will take action, and government has taken action.
Very painful infection is there. We want to see a foreign body here.
Almost 8 months after the earthquake, these charitable hospitals based in demountable buildings continued to provide free health care across the earthquake zone. The International Crisis Group says that support for the jihadis has never been strong here. But by allowing groups like Jamaat-ud-Dawa to operate in the open, Pakistan is helping Islamic radicals to raise their profile with the local community.
Actually, it should have been done in the month of November, and now I am doing this one. Hello, Armagan.
Bak Nawaz is a school teacher who lost everything when the earthquake struck. His wife and twin babies were lucky to survive.
My wife and her two twins were in her lap, and she was sitting on the chair. She was playing with them. At the moment the earthquake occurred, the roof of this house just came up to 2 feet. She just laid down on the ground along with the two twins, and she crawled from that side and got outside of the house.
She's very lucky.
She is very lucky. The two twins are lying there.
He owes his temporary home to Jamaat-ud-Dawa.
The first people who came to our help, they are the people from Jamaat-ud-Dawa. They came, they took our injured people to the hospitals on their backs, and they gave us the shelters also. They have been providing us food for near about a complete whole month, as we were lost of the food and etc.
Bak Nawaz is under no illusion about the role that Jamaat-ud-Dawa and other militant religious groups play in the long-running conflict with India over ownership of Kashmir. The American government says they should be banned, and that they say that What do you say about that?
I should say that these people about the Jamaat-ud-Dawa, the people who have been working for us, they are so polite, they are so humble, they are so honest, they are so nice that it will be an injustice if the America asks for the ban on that Jamaat-ud-Dawa. Yeah. They are very humble. They don't harm the people who are innocent people. If they are fighting for the freedom, for the people who are under pressure, then it is okay.
Prior to the earthquake, jihadis trained in the hills around here, but thanks to their humanitarian work, they are now visible on the streets, and not just by their beards. Militants wear military boots if they can afford them, or running shoes if they can't. Jamaat-ud-Dawa is settling in for the long haul. At this tent school inside one of the Jamaat-ud-Dawa's camps, children are schooled for free. But this schooling comes at a price.
For Allah.
School principal Abdul Hadi is teaching poetry in English.
Do for Allah. 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 Allah. Die for Allah.
Right for Allah. Right for Allah. Live for Allah. Live for Allah. Do for Allah. Do for Allah. Die for Allah. Obey for Allah. Obey for Allah. Give for Allah. Give for Allah. Pray for Allah. Pray for Allah.
He's preaching the jihad to the children. I mean, jihad is a concept that's looked at very differently in religious terms. It can be to purify yourself, it can be to seek the true path. This is the larger jihad. And then you have the lesser jihad, which is the use of armed force. These organizations resort to that use of the word jihad. Little children being taught that jihad is what they should be aspiring for is not helpful.
Human rights organisations have accused jihadi groups of taking orphans from the streets and putting them into training camps. And Jamaat-ud-Dawa has openly called for orphans to be given an Islamic education. But Abdul Hadi maintains there are no orphans here, just children being offered a free education.
बच्चे ये हमारे जो गवर्नमेंट का निसाब है, गवर्नमेंट का मुरवजा निसाब है, वही पढ़ा रहे हैं. इसमें इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज है, उर्दू लैंग्वेज, अरबिक लैंग्वेज, फिर मैथ है, साइंस है, और ये हमने अभी शुरू कर रहे हैं इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, ताकि ये बच्चे जो हैं ये टेक्निकल हैंड हों.
He does not believe Pakistan will follow the United States' lead in declaring Jamaat-ud-Dawa a terrorist group for one key reason.
पाकिस्तान एक मुसलमान मुल्क है, तो वो दीनी जमातों के खिलाफ कुछ नहीं करेगा.
With confusion on the ground about what is and is not a terrorist group, the government seems to have ensured that it won't have to act. For some, including the head of Pakistan's Relief and Reconstruction Agency, keeping up with the changes is proving difficult.
You know, my position is that there is no banned group that is working and operating in that area.
You don't see Jamaat-ud-Dawa as a banned group?
I am not a judge on who's banned or not banned. You know, there is a list which says which group is banned and which is not banned.
So are they banned?
I don't sit on that judgment.
Are they banned? Are they banned as far as you know?
The list is with the Ministry of Interior. It keeps changing. You know, they add to the list. So, you know, it's the job of the Ministry of Interior. And right now, in fact, in the reconstruction activity, it's, you know, in the relief phase, there were many organizations there. Now there are not.
But it's not just the Pakistan government that has aided militants' relief efforts. The international community has also lent a helping hand. At this camp, UNICEF initially provided the tents for the Jamaat-ud-Dawa to open and run this school. Australia channelled much of its multi-million-dollar aid effort for the Kashmir quake through UNICEF and other UN agencies.
नहीं, यूनिसेफ वालों को तो यहाँ टेंट लगाए थे, वो ले गए उखाड़ के, इसलिए ले गए कि ये एक रिलीजियस ग्रुप है.
We can all put our hands together.
UNICEF Country Director Omar Abdi is today taking part in the opening of a water pumping station. Omar Abdi says UNICEF follows strict United Nations guidelines when it comes to dealing with banned terrorist organisations. He says UNICEF didn't directly deal with Jamaat-ud-Dawa but worked at arm's length through local agencies.
We gave to an NGO, a local NGO, that is our implementing partner. For example, one of them is BEST, another one is National Human Development Commission.
And so they set the school up inside the camp?
They set the school in the camps, yeah.
It's a fine line, isn't it?
No, it is not fine line. It's the camp is, you know, there are so many banners. If you go to any of those camps you've seen, anybody can put banners. But inside the camp there are kids that have lost their schools, that have lost their families. They happen to be there by chance. They didn't select which camp to go and where to be at the height of the crisis, and they have a right to be educated. So here is an NGO that is providing that education to them. We cannot deny to give them supplies, those kids.
The moment you say go, I'll go.
Also at the ceremony, General Nadeem Ahmed, the deputy head of Pakistan's Earthquake Reconstruction Agency. He acknowledges that the disaster was fertile ground for many groups trying to win friends and wield influence.
You must understand that in times of adversity, anybody who stands by you will stand to gain. And I think that kind of a sentiment is present across the board, irrespective whether this was done by A, B, C or D.
But they have won, haven't they? They have got an increased level of support due to the role that they took.
I think it's slightly premature to say that. If they've got, let's say, the increased kind of a support from the local population, then how will it manifest? That is what is more important. Will it manifest in some physical way? I have my very, very serious doubt that it's going to make a difference.
Despite his prominent position, he is vague about the role Jamaat-ud-Dawa plays here. What's your view of Jamaat-ud-Dawa?
Frankly speaking, I have no idea what they do or what they don't. And I've just, heard about these people that they were into kind of financing or supporting some kind of a terrorist organization. Frankly speaking, I have no concrete examples to really support that contention or say otherwise. So probably I'll keep my comments to myself.
Pakistan has backed moves by countries such as the United States and Australia to crack down on terrorist groups, but now it is wavering. Why is Pakistan so reluctant to move on Jamaat-ud-Dawa? They've moved before in the past.
What do you think that what type of movement you expect from Pakistan government? What action do you expect? Without any evidence, can you take any action against your...
The evidence is there that it's the same leadership, that it's the same headquarters, that it's the same party structure.
We have not received a headquarter. Can a building be executed for anything?
In the Balakot Valley, the militants' message is broadcast for all to hear. The latest target of their anger, international aid agencies which have come to help. The International Crisis Group says the government's reluctance to take action against the jihadis is based on two factors: Such a move would be unpopular, and they also serve a purpose.
The belief that a proxy war is maybe useful at some stage, maybe not now, but in the future, I think is one of the problems here. The Lashkar is an organization that has been involved in regional jihads, mainly in Kashmir. And that continued link, I think, is a disturbing one.
The government wants them as a ready force for the future. They may just come in handy.
Well, it's a card that's still there on the table. In other words, has a decision been taken to abandon the card? No, I don't think it has.
Ginny Stein reporting from Pakistan. And next week...